So today we are going to be working with the 22-inch Dewalt pole hedge trimmer. As you can see here, we are going to do some landscaping work because this is going to be the year where we retake back our landscaping. It's just been overgrown before we moved here, and finally got the time to address it. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give you our thoughts too on this, if it's something to add to your repertoire or not. I'm excited because it runs on battery powered, where my other hedge trimmers are always been corded. So you got extension cords running everywhere. And if you ever use those, it's not a if, it's a when you're gonna come sweep down and accidentally nick that cord. So I have a 100-foot extension cord that's probably down to like 90 feet by now because I've done it so many times, and it's just frustrating. But also this does have a pretty big extension. There is a little bit of shake in this, but once you're getting up against the hedge, I think that'll take care of itself. It also does come with a nice quick strap clip here that you can hook it up to there and put it over, but I think I'm gonna use it without that. And what we're gonna do is we're going to attack our flower beds and our landscape in sections so we don't get overwhelmed. But you can see really how far you can get with this. I mean, I can get out there and it's, you know, there's a little bit of play. But like I said, once you get up against that hedge, I think that'll help support it and take care of that. But we are going to start in the small section right outside our shop window here and get that all addressed and taken down. So without further ado, let's get after it because there's rain in the forecast. This is what we're going to be taking care of first. This first stage here, you can see it's just completely overgrown, been neglected. So we're going to take these two big boys with the 22-inch trimmer and then get them all cleaned up, and then we can address down here. We already took out a few bushes, a couple were dead. Not sure if I'm gonna keep these little guys down here because they do have these little pricklers, but maybe we can reshape them and keep them in there. Got a ton of weeds though to pull out too. Okay, so I did about 2.5 hours of work in the front of the house in two sections that I wanted to address. Mainly I was running this hedger, just trying to get some of the bushes under control that have gotten out of hand over the fall into the winter and now into the spring, running into summer here. So I wanted to address that before they got really out of hand. My impressions at first when I was going to get this, I actually thought it was going to be a risky purchase. I've never really run a battery-powered hedger. I've always run either a gas-powered or a plug-in with a cord. And I'm going to say that plug-in one is gone. Definitely, this has enough power behind it. I ran this on one battery charge, and it's still got enough juice. It's not even backing down at this point, and that's 2.5 hours of on and off work. I would say maybe continuously running this thing for at least a half hour to 45 minutes if you cut out all the cleanups and stuff like that. Some of the takeaways that I have though with the unit, one thing to get used to was the safety trigger of having to make sure this was pressed down and then you could pull the trigger. But after a while I got used to it, just being able to take it and get the safety turned off so I could hit that, and you can easily flip it around, work it both hands, and be able to really get the extension on it. It really made it easy though when you saw me coming across and leveling down with this adjustability here, and it's really easy to lock into different angles to make that job much easier, all the way to a 90. So that is a nice little feature that allows me to really top off the bushes quite well without having to get a ladder system in there and not having to manage a cord, or even with the gas powered. In the long term, this is going to be nice because I won't have to winterize this. It's just a battery powered system that runs on my regular tools batteries. So I'm really looking forward to that, because one less tool to have to winterize up here in the north is just going to be a huge saver. Another thing that I thought I was going to get concerned with was that wobble in it. Because that flex in there. And really, once I got this up, I think against the hedge, and it was pressed, it stayed in place. It didn't run out of line or anything like that or wobble back and forth. It was really smooth, so I was glad to see that happen. With the weight of it, that was the other thing. It's kind of top heavy, but it was really easy to kind of run up and down. And like I said, I did 2.5 hours of work so far, and I could keep going, but that thunderstorm's not too far off. So I'm calling it quits just because I don't want to get caught in that storm without being able to clean up everything ahead of time. My overall thoughts on this is I definitely would recommend it. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go out and get just the handheld hedger. Spoiler alert, I did. Without the extension, because I have a few other areas where that will come in handy. And if it's anything like this, I'm going to be pleasantly pleased with it. Look, the only thing is I was worried about the power. That's why I was going back and forth between this and one of the gas powered. I know the gas powered probably has a lot more juice behind it, but for what I need, this did everything. It handled it quite well. It even handled some pretty thick stems, and it ended up getting through them without any issues. So I was pretty happy with that. In the near future, we're going to have quite a few more of these landscaping type of videos. As I said earlier, this is going to be the season to address finally the cosmetics of the outside. We took care of brickwork, gutter work, roof work that needed to be done with the house that were essentials. Now we can kind of get the house looking cosmetically nice. One thing I did not use in the video is the strap. And I didn't see a need for it, but if you were worried about the fatigue of holding this, that could come in handy. Like I said though, with myself, it was pretty easy to handle without having to use that strap. So all in all, I give the 22-inch Dewalt extension hedge trimmer a double thumbs up. Quite pleased with it. And if you were thinking about the same thing, I would definitely recommend it. I'm not a professional, so I'm not using it every day, but it's going to be put through some heavy duty work this year. There's a lot to go on. I'm excited to add more to this Dewalt cordless line. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and we'd love to earn your subscription as it's really helping us out as a channel. And if you're a returner, thank you so much for your continued support. We really do appreciate it. It's quite amazing the community that we're starting to really build here, and we want to keep that moving forward. So thank you so much. So until next time, thanks for buzzing by. You go make some dust.